Hey, fellas. How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah? What you guys do with your summer?
What didn't I do with my summer?
Yeah?
A lot of podcast production. Said goodbye to one show. I guess hello to another.
You're saying hello, Dolly, to another?
Yeah. I saw a lot of concerts.
You did.
Is this your intro?
Yeah, just doing a cold open, babe.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Yeah, my summer was great. Thanks.
Yeah? I was getting to you.
Do we have a theme song?
Yeah.
Are we going to hear it?
You want to hear it?
Will we hear it through the headphones?
Let's go.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
69, dudes! Well, there's your problem right there, Vern.
Hey, Willie.
Goonies never say die!
I know you are, but what am I?
I know you are, but what am I?
And knowing is half the battle.
Autobots, roll out.
Gordon's alive.
Do you feel it? Just imagine it.
It only takes a spark, Jason.
I seriously thought it might have been the band Sparks.
No.
Because they had such a weird sound and changed so much over the course of their career with their sounds that I seriously thought it was that, but then I recognized the band that you ended up on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How'd you do that?
Dustin, actually. Dustin turned me on to him. But I remember him mentioning them on Radio Rewind.
I've seen them once or twice locally. They're fun. They dress up and...
The Fantastic Plastics.
That's what
they
we're
look
talking
like
about.
a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Yesterdaze podcast.
Wait, I thought it was called Yesteryears.
It is not called Yesteryears.
When did we change the name from Yesteryears?
We never changed the name.
We had an old text group.
Yeah.
And it was Dustin a while ago had changed it to the name of our old show and then put the image of the focus of the old show there.
Sure.
And we kind of today was the day we released the last episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we put it underground today.
So I put a new image and I changed the name to the name of the show, Yesteryears, and then promptly Dustin changes it to Yesterdaze.
Yeah.
Yesterday, there were so many things I was never told. Now that I'm starting to learn, I feel I'm growing old. 'Cause yesterday's got nothing for me.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
I don't know. I guess I'm a little confused.
I think maybe you just haven't been paying attention.
I was also confused because you posted the logo, which clearly said Yesterdaze.
Oh, I didn't read it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, I didn't read it.
Oh, all right. Yeah. I've known you since the second grade. You've never been big on reading. Fool's game, a sucker's game is what you called that.
Don't care for it. Anything that's important can be read to me.
You know what? I understand that attitude, especially in this day and age.
That's why I have voicemail. Voicemail has always been you just listen to the message, but now with like phones, they dictate the message.
They can.
That's a step backwards. Let's don't go backwards.
Yeah. I don't need something read to me. I can just hear it. I can hear what has already been recorded.
Is there a Braille app for a phone? Can a blind person use a phone but feel?
Actually, I bet you could do that through a series of like vibrations.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
Bet you could.
But can this show be about that?
How do you type on a Braille keyboard?
When you're typing on a Braille keyboard, each key represents one dot within a Braille cell. If you press several keys at the same time, you can type a letter or a contraction. For example, dots 1, 2, and 3 is the letter L. The contraction ing, I-N-G, is 3, 4, and 6.
Actually, well, I don't think it could be.
What is this show?
That is a great question.
Well, this show is Yesterdaze.
Yesterday's moves don't stay in the grooves. They keep moving on.
And
Right.
we bounced around on some ideas. We of course talked about Goots Glutes, but that's kind of a short shelf life. I mean,
Steve
Hey.
Gutenberg?
yeah,
The Ernest show was only going to be like 13 episodes, and look what it led to. We could do Goots Glutes,
Could we
and
do Goots Glutes
and
for
it
5
could
years?
lead to who knows what.
Well, for me, the Ernest Show started out as a joke, but then I became very involved and interested in it. Same thing with Gutenberg. I think it's a joke because of the alliteration, but the man works out quite a bit. I bet he has great glutes.
He is tight like a tiger. He really, truly is. He's maintained himself. I thought about approaching you guys with another idea. Lend me your ears. It would have been focused on Paul Lynde, but not the whole catalog.
Oh, I'd have been in on that one.
I would want to focus primarily on his appearances on Match Game and
Hollywood Squares.
Lend me your ears.
Lend me your ears.
Oh, man, our Halloween
stuff?
episode would be great.
It's my type 5 for the Comedy Store.
I got to get a light going on here.
All right, back to the matter of money. Lolly.
Paul Lynde, please.
Say, Paul, when is it a good idea to put your pantyhose in the microwave oven for about 2 minutes?
When your house is surrounded by the police.
Studies at the University of Wisconsin show that you'll probably live longer if you love only one man or woman at a time.
But it is all right to alternate.
Does Mark Spitz believe swimming in the nude helps you go faster?
Well, it's easier to stare.
Lend me your ear.
Get the crook. No, we are.
There it is. We could do a summer special with J.J. Bullock.
Could we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's still around.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't lost him yet?
No.
I didn't even know he was sick.
No, he's all right.
No, so this is our new show that you two gentlemen have been gracious enough to let me helm. This is Yesterdaze podcast, where we are going to discuss some of our favorite things, primarily from the 80s and 90s, but if it is at least 20 years old, we may discuss it.
Ragtime music.
Oh, that's a must.
Oh, I love it. Scott Joplin.
I'm a ragtime gal.
The Entertainer.
Hoovervilles.
Your
name's
fitting. I already got that episode.
These are the kind of things you can expect to hear from us.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterdaze.
Watergate Scandal.
Oh, yeah. Carrie Nation.
Oh, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. The band or the actual event? With the
Contra. Now, you would think
Contra 2.
We would be talking
Contra.
about the video game. No, we're going to talk about the military debacle.
Iran-Contra, that conflict. We're talking about a lot of conflicts. No wars. Those
no,
we covered.
No.
Korean conflict.
Not enough people talking about the conflicts. I want to hear more about the conflicts.
Bikini Atoll.
Yes.
I'm hoping to learn some things about myself. Maybe it's my redemption arc, because I tend to avoid conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You are shockingly good at it.
Yeah. Well,
I think we've recently discussed.
I can usually talk my way out of most
that is
things,
a trait of yours that I've tried to adopt, but I'm still coming. I've gotten better, but
is it a peaceful life?
I think so.
Are you a pacifist?
I'm not a pacifist. I'm sure if I got pushed far enough,
then you'd pass your fist.
Hey, whoa!
It's my take 5.
There you go.
Those are the kind of things you're going to hear on the show. Those are future subjects. I think I just named, correct?
Just kidding. We're going to talk about toys and movies and music and comics and cartoons.
The stuff that really matters.
Things that truly, truly matter. Because I saw a crowded space, and I thought,
let's throw another nostalgia podcast onto the pile.
Me too.
Hashtag me too.
And I want to bring both of you with me because, frankly, I think we're funnier, and I think Dustin's a far better editor than most.
Hashtag time's up, Derek.
So, what are we talking about today?
What are we talking? What the hell are we doing? Well, first I want to ask you guys because this is a big day.
Can we swear? You just said hell.
Yeah.
Can we swear on this podcast?
Fucking A right.
Blood fart. Poop. Poop.
Crap. Poop. Crap.
God, hot Belgian waffles. Wait, I'm alone. I can swear for real.
I'll be there. I swear, like the shadow that's by your side. I'll be there for better or worse. Till death do us part. I'll love you.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, fun. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, fun. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, fun. We're gonna rock around the fun tonight. Put your glad rags on. Join me home. We'll have some fun when the clock's
I'm not bleeping F words on this one.
No.
Boobs.
Nah.
It's getting the E.
E for everyone.
Yeah.
Titties.
All right, so we can
Take it
curse.
to hoods, Beth.
I don't like that. But
like that kind of
we
talk?
can curse on this stuff?
Absolutely, you can curse.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. I love swearing. I think at
Swearing's
one time
fun.
At one time you said this would be like a PG-13 program. You already said the F word. Are you just
you get one a show?
We get
No.
like 2 more by today's standards. And we can rip out a guy's heart
But it's still listed as explicit.
and blow up a gremlin in a microwave.
That's just fun though.
That's just good, clean family fun.
That woman, the mom on Gremlins, was quietly the hero of the program.
Yes, she was. People don't talk about that enough.
She dispatched a lot of Gremlins.
I think that was a lot of housewife rage.
Are we going to do a Gremlins episode?
Oh, Gremlins.
Remember that scene where Phoebe Cates like interrupts the gremlin beating off in the bathroom?
I don't recall that
That
one.
Gremlin's like looking at her out at the pool.
We all remember it. It was parodied in that Fountains of Wayne song, right? Or the music.
If you guys, if that happened to you guys, if a lady, so he obviously that Gremlin had a crush on Phoebe Cates in that movie.
Yeah.
And if your crush walked in on you doing that, what would be your reaction?
Finish.
Like you would say that to her, or you just
You would just go finish.
I'd let it go, and then I'd
see
look
that
at her
going
like
well.
Daniel Day-Lewis. I'm finished.
Drink my milkshake.
Oh Lord. Yeah, we can't.
Drink it up.
This is a way dirtier podcast. I in my head, I think I'd be like, you know what I would do? I'm there. I'm obviously aroused. I would pursue the lady. That's what I'm saying in my head. What I would actually do was probably just
panic,
fart, and crap my pants. I'd be yeah.
There's no Benny Hill music as you're chasing her
A
around.
lot of goosing.
Yeah.
I don't want to be goosed by a gremlin.
No. Very pointy.
I would like to goose goose glutes.
Jason, we may have to do that show if this one doesn't do what we
Goose
think.
and Goots glutes?
Well, yeah,
Goose and Goots glutes. We can just do a web series, and it's us trying to track him down and like, gotcha.
And sexually assault him?
Sexually assault.
Yeah.
Steve Gutenberg.
We watch the works of Steve Gutenberg and we critique how his glutes
How them
look
glutes
in
look.
Right.
each movie.
We would take each of
or
his
show.
productions as a whole
Yeah.
and grade them, but at the end, like the one grading thing separate from the show would be just great. It would trump it all too.
Yeah.
it would be about his hot ass.
Like looking much tighter in Police Academy 2 than say 3 Men and a Little Lady.
Right.
Yeah.
but shockingly tight in Big Green.
He's in the Big Green.
Yeah.
As what?
As the
store clerk number 2.
As the sheriff,
As the sheriff.
in the
Okay.
town.
Never saw it.
He hits on the teacher. Yeah. He's all derpy and Texan, I think.
I don't know what this show really is about that we're doing, but I'm on board for Goots Glutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Stay tuned in 5 years.
Do we have a structure to this program?
Yes.
Okay, because I don't know that we was that ever shared with you? Because I'm kind of going into this like I know a little bit about the source material.
That's kind of how all first episodes are.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
I just didn't know how the show was going to go.
Well, I can break that down for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You already got the name wrong, so I'll walk you through this.
Now,
Welcome to Yesteryears.
okay, that's what it is.
Yesterdaze.
Which one is it?
Yesterdays.
Wonder Years.
Fred
Don't add
Savage.
any more. That's really going to screw me up.
Savage time.
Hey, Fred Savage, time's up. Did you hear he got canceled.
He got, yeah. he-
Uh-oh. He's had some problems. Oh, boy. The wizard ain't going to get you out of this one. No, the idea is to talk about different IPs from the 80s and 90s when we were kids.
when you say IP,
Intellectual property.
okay.
Okay.
Most haven't.
Is Mr. Freely there?
Who?
Freely. First initial is IP.
Hold on, I'll check. Is IP Freely here? Hey, everybody! IP Freely! Wait a minute. Listen to me, you lousy bum. When I get home to you, you're dead. I swear I'm gonna slice your heart in half.
Intellectual property. Now we're not
I
going to
was
talk
thinking internets.
internets, IP addresses.
Yeah, this was going to be a very boring
That was
podcast.
probably the worst idea.
10270.98.
That was not our strongest idea we threw out there when we were looking to wrap up Ernest.
Well,
But
the thing about that idea is that no one else was doing it.
it's true.
So if you're gonna look, if you're like, I want to,
Hey, you're talking about it, ain't you?
Yeah.
yeah. If you want that kind of podcast, we're the only place you can
Yeah.
go for it. So,
So
I mean, don't throw the baby out with the bath.
nope. No, the idea is to kind of revisit some stuff from our childhood, some stuff from our preteens and teen years, and just kind of see like where they are now, if they've been revisited, how they could be revisited. If they haven't been revisited, how would they stack up today, giving it sort of a retrograde.
How they are today. So what are we talking
Is
about
Mercury
today?
in retrograde?
Oh, good question.
Because that could really mess with my vibe on this show.
Mercury's waning.
You're a Pisces? I don't know.
Are we talking about Brave Star today?
No, today we're actually talking about Mask. I'm glad you read any text message. I sent. Let me tell you something. If
Hey,
there
guess
was,
what episode
if there was
2
an
is?
award for the least enthused to do this, oh, Jason, you're going home with the gold.
I don't win a lot of awards.
Yeah. Well, today's your day to shine. Today you get your flowers.
So Mask, if we revisit them today, like as if they aged in real time.
Well, no,
so they'd be
like
like
if-
in the early 70s or something.
Well, like no, how you would do that franchise today?
With a bunch of senior citizens.
Well, it's not a live action show, but
Okay, all right. I have no idea what's
just
happening.
drink your beer pudding. Well, if you haven't picked up on it already,
Smoking.
somebody stop me. Wrong Mask. The Mask.
Oh, wait, you're serious?
Yes. Have you been researching Jim Carrey?
Yes. And the Jamie Kennedy follow-up, Son of Mask?
Oh, I wouldn't do that to you.
You mean I watched that for nothing?
I wouldn't do that
With
to
the
you.
baby?
New Line Cinema presents
Who's the happy baby?
the next generation of mischief.
Mommy.
You said mama. Well, can you say dad?
Mother.
How are you and Albie doing?
Our son is bouncing off the walls.
From the director of Cats and Dogs.
I am Loki, god of mischief. Give me my mask. I think my dog ate it.
Oh,
It's good. It's good.
Were you aware
Dustin.
of this?
It's the Alien 2s of comedy sequel.
Is it? Now? I've
Yes.
never seen.
It's the
Son of
Godfather
Mask, and I
2
have no
of,
desire.
I thought it
to.
was a weird thing to start a show with.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh
Jamie
boy.
Kennedy said, "What if I was able to improve on the previous film?" And he did it.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way.
I think the only thing I really took away from Jim Carrey's Mask is like, my God, I'm not into blondes, but how smoking hot is Cameron Diaz in that? God, what a babe.
Very much so.
Nah.
Really?
I mean, overall, I agree with you, but like in that movie, there's just something.
Yeah.
Something's happening.
There's something going on there, Chief. No, the Mask we are talking about is Mobile Armored Strike Command.
I'm sorry, that would be MASC.
Well, in the 80s, spelling wasn't entirely important.
There's no spell check back
We
then.
didn't have Dolly Parton imploring us to do well at reading yet.
Well, hello. It's the book lady again. I got a fun one to read to you tonight. It's called There's a Hole in the Log on the Bottom of the Lake. That's a lot to say, ain't it?
She's become an advocate.
She has.
With a K.
She has. Advocate with a K.
Why was there something in the 80s where they said we want everything to be an anagram? Is that what that
Acronym.
Acronym. Anagrams forward and backwards. I'm sorry.
Acronyms are fun.
An anagram for mask would be CAMS.
Oh, anagram is
Or smack, but spelled wrong, which is what mask is.
Which is on
technically.
brand.
Yeah.
Would be on brand for
Yeah.
it.
So you think it's just? But do you think kids are attracted to acronyms like that?
Yeah, you know.
The
when I was
government
a-
is.
Yeah, the government definitely is.
Do you think the government was the target demographic for masks?
absolutely.
They're probably behind it.
Absolutely.
Them and Deke.
Another fine acronym.
Deke.
Couldn't tell you what it stands for right now off the top of my head. But
It's supposed to be a K.
yeah. Well, the show Mask premiered on September 30th, 1985. It ran until November 26, 1986 as a syndicated series. At the time it was released, the number one song was Money for Nothing by Dire Straits.
Good video.
Great video. The number one film was Chuck Norris Invasion USA. Does anybody remember that?
That was the number one movie?
That was the number one
I've
movie.
never even heard of that
A
thing.
week before that, Back to the Future was still the number one
Oh,
movie.
jeez.
Whoever produced
Chuck Norris
that and
kicked them out
distributed
of the top.
They're like they found a kink in the armor of movie release schedules.
Yeah.
to put that out
They
there.
had to have.
If someone said name
legit never
a
heard
Chuck
of it.
Norris film, I would say I only know Delta Force.
Sidekicks with Jonathan Brandis.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. But like I've never heard of that one.
No one believed it could happen here until it was too late. Now, an army of international terrorists has landed. Only one man stands in their way.
Did you lose this?
They wanted a war. He gave them one. Chuck Norris, Invasion USA.
Starts Friday at a theater near you. Check your local listings.
I remember it. I never watched it.
What was
I
it
think
called? Invasion?
Invasion USA. And it's very much in the same vein as like Red Dawn. Very, very similar. I had completely forgotten about it. I decided to look up what was like the number one song, number one movie when these things came out. And I'm going through the list of blockbusters in 85. And here's this chunk that it's Back to the Future week after week after week after week. And then Invasion USA. I'm like, huh, that is a strange drop off.
Never even heard of it.
Well, did you guys ever watch Mask as a kid? Do you recall it? Do you have any memories of it?
Yeah. I mean, my first memory is I owned one of the toys. I had Gator.
Mask, where illusion is the ultimate weapon.
Convert Switchblade to jet mode. Surprise, Matt Tracker. It's mayhem. Battle station. Protect the decoder, Bruce. I'm going up. Stacks ready to fire.
Mask, Switchblade, Thunderhawk, and Rhino.
Fire!
Each sold separately with action figure.
Cover me, Matt. 10-4. Sato's getting away, but you're not, Mayhem.
Mask, Switchblade, Thunderhawk, and Rhino. Each sold separately. New from Kenner.
You had Gator. Okay, that was
I
one
had
of the
Gator,
cooler
and I
ones.
don't know if it was given to me because the guy's name was Dusty. Powder Keg Hayes.
And that is what you prefer to be called.
I hate being called Dusty.
Powder Keg. Oh, Dusty.
Oh, yeah, yes.
He does like being called Powder Cake.
Yeah.
That's what
It's just about to explode.
I'm a very easygoing powder keg.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I had that toy. It was like a Jeep that would turn into a boat.
Well, yeah, it would open up in the back in the like hydrofoil.
Yeah,
or jet ski.
So I had that one,
Shootout.
and it was the only Mask toy I had.
Yeah.
So he just became a new G.I. Joe guy.
Which is
essentially
fitting, which is fitting for some of what we'll discuss.
And the cartoon, although I don't think I watched it religiously, I probably saw it here and there.
Sure.
I watched one episode in preparation for this, which
You picked
we
one
can
of the
talk about
worst ones.
later. I picked the one that aired right after my 5th birthday.
Did you do that on purpose?
No, it just worked out that way.
I remember the toys.
Sure.
I remember. I feel like the people were a little smaller than GI Joes, and maybe like a little shittier. Like they didn't have all the points of articulation and stuff that
Not
GI
as
Joes
much,
had. And I remember I thought it was kind of cool that the vehicles would do different things. But you look back at it now, and there's this weird filter of like it's drafting off the success probably of Transformers, one thing changing into another thing.
Yep.
And then also like it's all all of it is a money grab. Everything is just like it. Derek, you probably know all about this because you watch these toy videos all the time. But do they come up with the toys first on these a lot of these properties and then build a show around them?
A lot of the times in the 80s, that is how it went.
Build the toy first, and then make a
Exactly.
show out of this.
Exactly.
And then that became illegal, didn't it?
That became illegal?
Kinda.
There were like some laws put into place that it's like basically we can't just have you make a 30-minute commercial for toys.
Well,
why not?
How that happened, it was in the 1960s, and there was a show at the same time that they started being released called Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels! Hot Wheels! Always chasing, always racing. Hot Wheels! Hot Wheels! Keep it turning now, keep it burning now, keep it turning. Hot Wheels!
A lot of people don't know this. Back in the day, there was a cartoon for Hot Wheels, and it was more or less an actual. Not that everything in the 80s wasn't as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was straight up a commercial.
But it was a cartoon?
It was a cartoon.
Okay.
I think they also advertised the toys during the program, and they cracked down on that. And for years, there were FCC rules and regulations that you could not do that.
Both of you have said that now. Why, though? To me, it's like...
Parents groups were worried that was...
You need some educational content. That's why I learned in the one episode, use crosswalk when you're running across traffic.
Exactly.
They tacked that on to the end of the episode. It was 10 seconds long. Like, hey, we're gonna go to the carnival and play some games. Oh, it's over there. And then these kids try running out into traffic, and they're like, oh no. And then they're like, yeah, don't do like that. You use the crosswalk to get to the other side.
That's the same thing as G.I. Joe, though,
yes,
right?
exactly.
The G.I. Joe is like, we're going to shoot each other with lasers. Yep. Someone might get hit, but no one will
You
ever
couldn't
be
show
hurt.
anybody dying.
No one will ever be hurt. And then at the end, we'll make some nice pork chop sandwiches or something.
Pork chop sandwiches?
You're not cooking. Yeah, dude.
Pork chop sandwiches. Oh shit! Get the fuck out of here! What are you doing? Go! Get the fuck out of here, you stupid idiot! Fuck, we're all dead! Get the fuck out!
But the PSAs at the end, is that just to appease parent
So
groups?
here's how this all sort of played out. Reagan came into office in 1980, and one of the things he changed was these rules to the FCC, which opened the floodgates for toy companies to start collaborating with production companies to have what has become known as the trifecta for selling your kid shit: toy, comic, cartoon.
Comics still.
Yes.
Comics a part of that.
Yes, and this actually can be traced back to He-Man. He-Man was kind of the one that accidentally set the tone for how these things are done.
And technically, the Little Rascals are responsible because they formed the He-Man Woman Haters Club.
Yes. Exactly. It all goes back to Buckwheat.
Yeah, all goes back to Buckwheat.
I love pickles. My mother makes me eat them. I'm crazy about them. I'll sell you my pickle for a nickel. How about 2 cents? Okay. I have 2 pickles. I have 2 pickles. I have 2 pickles today. Hey, hey. 2 big little boy, big old I get 2 pickles today. Day.
I never put that together.
You never did?
About the Little Rascals and the Masters of the Universe.
Really? Oh.
You didn't know that
Okay.
Stymie was originally Manny Faces?
Which one was Fistor?
Fisto.
Yeah.
Spanky. Spanky became Fisto. Got to do something with that hand. Anyways.
That's hot.
No, so what happened was when Mattel, just to kind of set the table for how these toy lines...
Mattel, famous stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Insomniac. When they set out to create Masters of the Universe, and they were struggling at the time, they kept running into the problem of...
He didn't say MOTU. He loves his acronyms. I was waiting for it.
Oh, well,
He's
I'll
dumbing it
switch
down for everybody.
Dumbing it
Thank
down.
you, Derek.
You're welcome. When they set out to create that, they were struggling at the time because they were getting into a bad habit of buying the licensing for properties that just weren't selling. Like they made the Clash of the Titans toys. That wasn't really aimed at kids. There were some other ones that were pretty hard swings and misses.
Taxi Driver.
The Taxi Driver toy line did not.
Kids did not get it.
I mean, they were.
Who doesn't want a little bickle in their pocket?
They were great for 5 points of articulation.
Is that a bickle in your pocket? Or are you happy to see me?
Happy to see me. That tagline did not test well with moms. Not for the toy aisle.
Just a little child prostitute, Jodie Foster.
Well, she was a pack-in.
Playset.
She was a pack-in?
She was a pack-in with the Mohawk variant.
Oh, I thought you had to build her with the
No. They weren't on to BAFs yet, which is a Build-A-Figure.
Okay,
for the uninitiated. There you go.
But they had
You
that
gotta
Travis
dumb it
Bickle thing. You get the thing at home where you can attach to your arm to shoot a gun out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that thing?
They had to recall like that Boba Fett one with the rocket on the back.
Because some stupid kid choked on something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stupid
You
kids.
choking on me? You choking on? I don't see nobody else. You must be choking on me.
I'm choking.
And then
I'm just choking.
No more Roman candles were pack-ins either.
No.
Or BAFTAs, as you call them.
No. BAFs, not BAFTA.
So Mask.
Mask followed this formula.
Yeah,
and
very much
reaped
so.
the benefits of kind of the stage that He-Man set.
Okay.
So Reagan, when he made that law, it kind of counteracted the thing from the 60s?
It repealed a lot of that, and it opened up advertising and marketing and more or less made it a lot easier to direct market to children.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you named your child after Ronald Reagan. Is that correct?
No, I did not. I named him Henry.
Oh. Okay. I know he's your favorite president, right, Reagan?
The old Gipper?
Wasn't that gonna?
I do like the Gipper.
Why didn't you name him after Ronald Reagan at all?
Because Ronald's a stupid name.
Well,
that's my grandfather's name. You
No,
son
it
of a
wasn't.
bitch. Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, sorry.
No, he was stupid. You're right. He was a kind and gentle man, but he was very dumb.
He's very dumb.
Hated Mask.
He's not a
He just hated it.
But he did love Eric Stoltz.
Yeah?
Yeah. Big Rocky
Again,
Dennis
wrong
fan.
Mask.
Rocky Dennis has ambitions.
For academic achievement in mathematics, Rocky Dennis. You may as well say who, Rocky. For achievement in history, Rocky Dennis. And for achievement in science, Rocky Dennis.
He has hopes.
Ben and I are saving up our money to ride motorcycles through Europe. Those are all the places I'm gonna go.
He has dreams, just like everyone else.
Boy, do I love you.
I wish we could run away and be together all the time.
We can't run away, Diana.
The only thing is, Rocky Dennis isn't like everyone else.
I don't look like Adonis. I'm kind of strange looking. I've got this problem that makes my face look real unreal. My mom says I look like a lion, though. She figures that I was a lion in one of my past lives and some of it got left over.
Universal Pictures presents a Martin Starger production. Peter Bogdanovich's Mask, starring Cher, Sam Elliott, and Eric Stoltz. Based on the true story of 16-year-old Rocky Dennis. Mask. Sometimes the most unlikely people become heroes.
Wrong Mask, but it's fine.
Huh? What? I have that one too. Sam Elliott and Cher.
I have a whole dissertation.
If I could
about
turn
Sam
back
Elliott.
time, I would have watched 2 less movies this week.
Turn back time.
Anyway,
anywho,
let's go ahead and grade it.
No, okay, so the trifecta I described. You had the comic book, you had the show, you had the toy line.
Did you read the comic? Did you watch all the cartoons?
I have watched all the cartoons.
Recently?
I have been watching them recently with
Okay.
Henry. Their season 1 is on Tubi. Season 2 you have to watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because the rights are held by 2 different people.
You know what to do too.
You do know what to do too.
There was a movie too where they just put a bunch of episodes together.
They just strung them together
on
and
a
had masked the
VHS.
movie, then masked the movie too.
So there's I was watching a video today, and I think it was like 65 episodes that they
Of
call
season
season 1.
Yes, sir.
And then season 2 was just a
Much
amalgamation of the films.
No, the films ended up being episodes cut together. Season 2 was only 10 episodes and was completely different from season 1. So season 1 was more or less like a covert crime fighting organization led by Matt Tracker.
Mask, it can be a shit program and not a lot of people watching it because the toys is where the money is.
That is what, yeah, exactly.
So like even if the viewership was low, as long as the toys did well, they could keep going with the series.
Typically, yeah. Because you will see even 2 prime examples in the modern era. The Thundercats reboot in about 2011 and the Young Justice cartoon series. Those both got axed. Thundercats was after one season. Young Justice hopped around. Like
Animation's expensive.
Yeah. And part of the reason why they
takes a
didn't
long
get
time.
sold was because they weren't selling.
Yeah.
The toys were not selling. And it didn't help that these were cartoons that were aimed at an older audience. The kids that would be buying the toys were usually already in bed or weren't staying up to watch, because these were cartoons that were, in the case of Young Justice,
These are
and
different
Thundercats,
times, though.
8 and 9.
Old men buy a lot of toys now, though, right?
Not as much as kids do, at
Still,
least at that
okay.
point in time.
No, I'm saying
it's different now.
Yeah.
You have a lot of adults.
So you're just saying like different, even 10, 15 years ago.
It was very different.
Do you identify as a adult?
I do identify as
Okay.
an adult.
Just making sure you were self-aware.
I am very, very self-aware.
All right.
So the show.
I used to be one. Now I'm a powder keg.
Now you're a powder keg.
Pacifist.
Yeah,
The powder keg
pacifist powder keg.
Yeah.
The first season was 65 episodes, and it focused on.
That's a long season.
But, well, that was pretty typical, especially for syndicated shows. Like
Yeah.
a season was usually anywhere between 55 to 65 episodes.
Hey, man, Seinfeld's in syndication. They never had no 65-episode season.
Was that over the course of like a year and a half, 2 years, though?
A year. But when it
3
ran
months.
in syndication, it was usually the expectation was Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Like these were in the barrel for either
Yeah,
in the
you
morning
come home
before
from
school,
school
or home from school.
It's
and
soap
so on.
operas for kids, man.
Exactly.
So you say animation is expensive, but this could not have been that expensive.
Well,
right?
after watching the episode I watched, I was like, this looks a little cheaper compared
Yeah,
to
it's-
some shows I remember. There's a lot of close-up, tight shots of faces not doing anything for a while, and then just like, yep.
It was.
if they're
well,
crapping them out this quick, it's got to
Yeah.
be cheap. And
it
fast.
wasn't. It wasn't quite the production you would see from like Filmation with their series or the Hasbro Marvel production Sunbow jams that they put out. Because
What did you just say?
Hasbro Marvel Productions and Sunbow, they worked very tightly together.
I thought
on a
you
lot
said
of
there was like a
series.
cartoon called Sunbow Jams.
Yeah.
That would be great.
What the hell?
That just sounds like a good
Like
time.
I don't even know what Visionaries is. Never heard
You,
of
are you
Sunbow
shitting me? You
Jams.
don't even know what this is.
If I saw Visionaries, it might spark something, but just by the name alone, I've got nothing.
Yeah, not. You got to be a huge fucking geek to know what Visionaries is. Hi, how you
Or
doing,
a
Derek?
kidult.
Have you met me? Or a kidult.
Guilty, I guess.
Well, Mask was produced by Deke Entertainment. And
Yeah, just
they,
like Hey Vern, It's Ernest.
they did put out a lot of fun kids TV shows, but they weren't exactly known for the best animation.
Yeah.
It was a little cheaper. It was fine.
Cash grab.
Cash grab. Classic cash grab. But the first season was them facing off against the bad guys, Venom. Another acronym.
Oh, from Marvel.
No.
With the Spider-Mans
not
and the aliens.
Spider-Mans, not the Spider-Man symbiotes.
It's another acronym.
It's another acronym.
Very energetic, Nazi, oppressed males.
The V.
Wow.
The VE is
who got radicalized on their...
Is that true? Did you get radicalized?
Did you get radicalized on summer
No.
break?
No, not at all. Do I sound radicalized?
You sound like you're about ready
Nazi
to explode to
oppressed
find a
men,
peaceful
like,
way out of it.
easy.
No, they think they're oppressed.
Oh, okay.
But then the mask
So they're morons.
puts them in their place.
Yeah, like
So
you're
they're
not
incels.
oppressed. Shut up.
So like the modern day reboot would be Mask versus Incels.
All right. Incels. Incels, exactly.
Intellectual.
Matt Tracker in the game
negative.
takes on incels.
They just take. It's like they have one of their vehicles in the back. It's a van full of hookers.
Yep.
And they pull up to a place, and then like the back
The trunk's filled with porno. Can you help me?
But it turns into a bed or something.
Yeah.
And then they just they quell the incels by getting them late.
Quell the incels.
So
It rhymes.
Something?
Vicious evil.
Vicious.
Evil network of mayhem, which is a double entendre because they cause mayhem, but they're led by a guy called Miles Mayhem, who used to
Yeah.
work with Matt Tracker and Andy Tracker.
No, he didn't.
Yes, it's true.
They have a rich
Dustin.
history together.
They have a very rich history. They developed the mask technology. Miles Mayhem didn't like that they weren't making any money off of it, so he torched the
Hey, man,
facility.
it's the 80s.
Killed Andy Tracker.
Oh.
And made off with half the booty. And went and founded Venom.
And this was for children?
Yeah.
Why put the word evil in your name? Because like evil
Because
organizations,
you want people to know.
But like evil
what you're up
organizations
to.
don't think they're evil. They just think they're doing right by like their board members or their ideology.
In
Right.
the 80s, I guess they were a little more self-aware.
All right. Okay.
Or they were just like more out there. Like,
bad
nope,
guy-
I'm evil, and I'm
the bad
I'm gonna
guy
do some
wears
bad
black.
shit.
Yeah.
Yep, bad guys wear black.
Okay.
But yes, they wore masks that were powered by Spectrum,
Yeah.
which was an artificial intelligence. Each mask did something different. They could everything from anti-gravity to vaporizing things.
So when they put their masks on, they're on the spectrum.
I see what you did there.
Answer the question.
They are.
Is this whole show? Is it like giving autism awareness before? 'Cause it's
Joke's
like,
on you. It's an educational podcast about autism. Nah, I'm kidding. That's not the case.
You said Spectrum's an AI. Can they talk to it? Does it talk back to them?
It does. It does.
There's
not a great deal.
Is there
but
robots?
There's no robot. Well, there is kind of one robot.
There has to be a robot.
T-Bob.
Yeah, T-Bob.
T-Bob. That
T-Bob.
T-Bob.
Hey, T-Bob, there's something you can ride.
I'm not getting on that thing.
Come on, I'll treat you.
A treat? It looks more like a trap.
I'll meet you guys inside.
Okay, Dad. So what do you say, T-Bob?
No way.
Come on, it'll be fun.
And Rocksteady.
No, there's no man rhino.
No man
unfortunately.
rhino?
That'll be another show.
What's T-Bob
T-Bob
stand for?
Was T-Bob in TLC?
Yeah, exactly.
Until he got sickle cell.
Until he got sickle cell anemia.
Laser left
It was
eye.
a very special episode.
Yes, a very special episode of Mask. T-Bob gets sickle cell.
Things get real in that one.
Gets very real. T-Bob was this obnoxious little robot that could also turn into a scooter of sorts that Matt Tracker's son, Scott, could ride on. And he was kind of a anxiety-riddled robot.
So it's
voiced by Paul Lind.
Oh, that would have been so good.
He would have like a little handkerchief around his neck. It reminds me.
I usually
Where are they
have
going
to pay
already?
for this.
Oh my! That car's turning into some sort of jet. It's just wild.
This little boy, get him off my back. It reminds me of Venture Brothers robot. Isn't that his
Helper?
name? Oh, what's his name?
Helper.
Helper.
Yeah.
That's right. That reminds me of him because he was kind of an anxious robot.
Well, every kid's cartoon has this character. It's like in He-Man, it's Orko. In Thundercats, it's Snarf.
Yep.
Which I actually drove by a place the other day, and it was called Snarf. And
shut up!
I almost, if I'd have known it was coming, I'd have taken a picture. But I was already by it.
Nuts!
By the time it registered, but
that's so
yeah,
cool.
there's always this dumb character that's supposed to appeal to the kids, but a lot of times they're kind of
It's
just
the comic
annoying.
relief.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be some form of comic relief, and usually
there's Glomer in the Punky Brewster cartoon, where they
Glomer.
Punky.
There's no Glomer
he was like,
in the
what was
Punky
he, like
Brewster
a weird
show.
little gerbil kind of
Yeah,
guy.
and he like grants wishes. Like what?
He
what the
grants
hell?
wishes?
Yes.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
you're-
Henry fell down again.
That's okay. Glomer's here.
Spot on Glomer, by the
Yeah,
way.
If I was Punky Brewster and I had a thing that grant me wishes, I wouldn't be like,
I wish I wasn't an orphan.
I wish my parents loved
and I
me.
say
were
that
still
as
around.
an orphan.
Yeah, yeah. You are the rebooted Punky
I'm
Brewster.
rebooted Punky Brewster. I almost have the breasts for it as well.
You are a bosomy man.
I am.
Plumpy Brewster.
Oh, Plumpy, you need to stop eating pudding.
But it's going to become like it's going to be like what's the dad's name in that?
I don't know.
The old man.
Henry.
Okay, so
Oh, yeah, Henry.
Henry is going to be like this mummified old dead man that you like keep talking to, like Norman Bates. That's the show.
That's the show. Subvert
Well,
expectations.
now I know why it got canceled on Peacock. They brought it back.
No one was clamoring for a Punky reboot.
Well, speak for yourself.
So
I'm not
you
saying
wanted
I'm
it?
not saying I wanted that.
I had
I'm
a
just saying speak for
rebooted
yourself.
Punky.
You're giving a voice to the voiceless. Thank
Exactly. Not all heroes wear capes.
you. Just He-Man t-shirts.
Just He-Man
And
t-shirts
masks.
and masks from time to time. So it was very interesting that when they went to season 2, it completely changed from the format from the first season. It went from being very G.I. Joe-esque to racing.
Why?
I have no idea why.
Were the characters the same? Did the voices change of the characters?
No, all the characters
their
were still the
characteristics
same.
changed. Their personalities different.
In fact, there were a couple characters added at that point in time. There was a Native American character. There was a Russian character added.
Was his name Giuseppe by chance?
Yes, exactly. Giuseppe. Iron Eyes Giuseppe was his name. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
And Miles Mayhem, by that point, his twin brother, joined up with his crew,
and he's gonna defect and go to the good guys.
Mayhem and Mayhem.
Ooh.
Well, there was
in a double twist.
There was crisscross Chris. There was one character that kind of started leaning towards going on the other side because I think she started getting a bit of a crush on.
By the other
Dusty.
side, you mean
running more with
lesbianism?
Mask? No,
Oh.
running more with Mask. She was she was the bad girl on Venom because
they always
both
are.
teams had to have a girl. The Mask team had Gloria Baker. The Venom side had probably, and I'm not ashamed to say it, one of the sexier animated femme fatales.
The Jessica Rabbit of Mask.
Yes. Yeah, that's actually a good way to put it.
What's her?
'Cause
What,
she was
what
a
was her
redhead.
name?
Vanessa Warfield. She was a bad girl.
Marsha Warfield comes on as her twin sister.
Exactly. Separated at birth.
Sassy.
It's sassy and
holding
brassy.
people in contempt.
Ross? Judge? Everybody back from lunch yet?
Nope. It's just you and me.
By golly, you're right. So, tell me about yourself.
I'm 32. I'm a fun-loving tourist whose hobbies include full-contact karate, Brahma bull riding, and small-caliber weapons. Quit while you're ahead, sir.
Did that Night Court reboot get canceled?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I haven't gotten to check it out yet.
Yeah,
I
you
do
and a
want
lot
to.
of people.
Ooh. Ouch.
I'm just saying.
It's not doing that good?
I don't think it
It's
was
not doing so
that
good?
well.
That's a bummer.
The whole cast is dead. Let's reboot
Yeah,
it.
except for like what Richard Mall
Oh, did he come back for it? He probably did, right?
and John. Well, John Larroquette's on it.
John
I know
Larroquette's
that.
like one of the main guys on it,
His,
right?
yeah, I think his alcoholism inevitably saved his life because he's sober
Pickled.
now, but like he ain't gonna die. He's pickled.
But did Richard Mole? Did he come back and reprise his Bull Shannon character on that show?
I would be surprised if he didn't show
What
up
else has
on
he got
there.
going on? That
I'm
original
sure he's still getting residuals from voicing Harvey Dent
on what?
Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, did
Yeah.
he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That show actually had a pretty killer cast. You had her about season 2, Vanessa Warfield. She started having a crush on Dusty Powderkeg, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And it was 10 episodes and it was over. That was it for season 2, and it was racing and then sometimes getting into conflict with one another, or
65
demolition derbies and then getting into conflict with one another. That's it.
65 episodes of a ripoff of G.I. Joe and Transformers, two of the most popular IPs as you from the 80s, or BAFTAs as you call them.
Sure.
And season 2 is all racing. After
Yeah, it's just
season 2,
racing.
though, there's movies. Do the movies more represent what we saw in season 1 or season 2, or neither?
More so season 2. They started cutting those together to making, like, it was like the first 3 episodes and then the second 3 episodes
Okay.
cutting together, Mask the Movie 2. And you made an interesting point. It's something I have written
About
down.
Bull Shannon?
About Bull Shannon, exactly. No, joke's on you. It's a Bull Shannon podcast now.
Yay!
Oh, wow. That
Now I have enthusiasm.
he's excited.
I lost my award. Hey. Yeah. I don't even think... Was he even really a bald guy? Or did he just shave his head for that
He just
role?
shaved his head. Because I saw him in other roles. He
Gotta-
had a head of hair.
If you are
Yeah, make
shaving
that
your
money.
If you're shaving your head with a razor and you're not smacking it on some sort of...
You're leaving money on the table.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're leaving money on the table.
You're absolutely right.
Come on now. Gotta have more sense than that. No, you made the point twice. The first time you just mentioned Transformers. One of the compliments given to the show when it first came out was that at its earliest inception, it seemed to not have the detriments of G.I. Joe and Transformers. It seemed that whatever the good of those shows, that what worked for those shows,
It was the Arnold Schwarzenegger baby of those, of the twins.
yes, it was the junior.
It was the best of both of those shows.
Well, Danny DeVito was an executive producer for Mask. Fresh off of Jack the Bear.
All of the masks looked like Danny DeVito's face.
No, it was different Danny DeVito parts.
Oh yeah, they had
parts.
Don Mayhem had the taxi mask.
Yeah, exactly.
That's his name, right?
Matt Tracker wore a Judd Hirsch mask.
Oh, they're all taxi
They're all
characters
taxi
now.
characters.
Okay.
My favorite was
Dusty
Lock,
Powderkeg was Tony Danza.
Yeah.
That would be great if that was.
Does that show
the
hold
actual
up?
Mask.
Do you watch that at all?
Taxi? No.
Powder Keg, you watch that?
No, I have not. Even with being the Andy Kaufman fan that I am, that was something I just never.
Just wasn't your jam.
Yeah, never checked out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a solid cast.
Oh,
but-
sure, yeah.
Got a great
Yeah,
cast.
it's just before my time, and I decided to leave that one there.
Same. I never really got into Taxi.
Yeah.
Like WKRP in Cincinnati all day, every day, but
All day, every day?
I used to watch WKRP
I'm
Cincinnati
more
with
of
my
a
mom.
Welcome Back Cotter.
Yeah.
and
I've
Sanford
watched
and
Welcome
Son,
Back Cotter
you know.
with my stepmom.
Did you ever see that board game they had for it?
Yeah.
They did have. I
Yeah.
saw it at Acme Comics one time.
They had trading cards too.
It was. They did have trading cards. Shit.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the game was, though? What it was called?
I remember seeing it next to the Dark Shadows game at Acme
I thought it was
Comics.
just
That's all I
Welcome
got.
Back Cotter the game.
But then it had a phrase. It was called the Up Your Nose with the Rubber Hose game.
Okay.
And
good
inside there was a rubber hose.
If you want to become a sweat hog, here's how. With Welcome Back Cotter, be up your nose with the rubber hose game.
Epstein, you're in a class by yourself, so what are you doing here?
You're going back 4 spaces, man. Hurry! You gotta watch out for the other sweat hogs.
Back in the class for you.
And the first to collect all the words wins.
Up your nose with a rubber hose.
Welcome Back Cotter, the Up Your Nose with the Rubber Hose game by Ideal.
That was part of the game. I think my mom had it growing up. I don't remember playing it, but I was like,
At the
why
Vinnie
is this-
Barbarino line. and then you get like a permission note from Epstein's mom.
Yeah.
You know.
That was he always wrote him.
Yeah.
Juan Epstein.
The Up Your Nose with the Rubber Hose was truly the only comeback, I think, in modern history.
Off my case, toilet.
that you could not. There was no rebuttal. If someone said that to you, you were done.
How do you come back from that?
That's what I'm saying.
You
There's
don't.
nothing you can
No,
say.
it's a wickedly
Shut
talented
down.
insult.
Wickedly talented. One of my favorite things, of course, about Mask was the toys. We did talk about them quite a bit.
So this is the new Hurricane. Hoo-wee. Glad it's on our side, Hondo.
Tracker here. Assemble masks. Intruder closing in.
It's the Venom Stinger. Look out! Hurricane engaged.
Vehicles each sold separately, with a figure.
Firefly heading for the sky.
Mask, where illusion is the ultimate weapon.
I'm getting out of here.
Mask, Hurricane, Firefly, and Stinger, each sold separately. New from Kenner.
And they had a lot of awesome toys. You mentioned Gator.
That was series 1.
They made a lot of different. I think they had about 3 or 4 series.
Okay.
Most of what I remember was like the Wave 1, Wave 2 toys, and you had mentioned they were smaller as opposed to like GI Joes.
Yeah,
they were about 2.5 inches as opposed to the standard 3 3/4 like Star Wars, Superpowers, GI Joe. Not as much articulation. Usually, playsets didn't come with a figure. Vehicles didn't come with a figure. Everything was sold separately. Kenner, when they sold Mask, actually came with an action figure. So if you bought Thunderhawk, which was Matt Tracker's car, it was the red car, the gold wings would come up and
playing off of Back to the Future's DeLorean, like opening those doors, make it fly.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
That's not how aerodynamics.
I don't think.
work.
Yeah,
The fewer points of articulation also means cheaper too. We're talking about like 4 or 5 pieces of mold on a thing just to pop into place. Versus
the
all
tooling
these-
was far less complicated than GI Joe, for
and
example.
cheaper, right? Like cheaper is the name of the game for these things, right? Crap these things out.
Keeping costs down, especially since you're putting action figures and vehicles together.
They probably just bend at the waist, if I remember right.
I think it was.
I feel like it's one body piece, 2 legs that move just at the hip, 2 arms that move at the shoulder, and maybe a head that
I
turns.
think they were just 5-point articulation. I think it was knee, hip. Well, I think it was like you
Head
guys,
and shoulders, knees and toes.
Yeah, like the arms would move, but it was like
but not at the elbow, right?
not at the elbow.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
Just
the
at the shoulders,
Superpowers line
the hip,
and the
and
Toy
the
Biz
head.
Batman line.
Yeah, those 5 points.
Head would turn. Yeah, hips and knees. That's it. 5 points, baby. But they were made that way so they could keep costs down, so they could do these pack-ins together. There was a lot of value built into the line, and it did have probably one of the coolest playsets at the time, the Boulder Hill playset. It was the gas station that turned into a command center. It was pretty damn
Who doesn't
cool.
want a gas station?
I'll never walk
playset?
in the Thorntons down the street the same way.
You don't
again.
know what's hiding.
It's Mask, where illusion is the ultimate weapon. Mask Boulder Hill playset with action figures, so you put it together.
Prepare for battle. This is no innocent gas station. Activate freeze rate. Nobody stops the evil jackhammer.
Vehicle sold separately with action figure.
Oh, yeah? Oh, I'll sneak in another way. Hop, hop. Sector. Surrender, prisoner.
Mask Boulder Hill playset. Vehicle sold separately. New from Kenner.
You're walking in, I want a Slim Jim.
Yeah. I bet my gas station turns into a meth lab. You ever seen the people that work there? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I wouldn't keep going back there, but they have the cheapest gas prices in town.
Yeah, Venom gas.
Did you just say Venom gas?
Yeah, isn't that the bad guys in Mask?
Vehicular
We're talking
energy.
about Mask.
Nominal, Omicron, Man.
M.
M.
Yeah.
Also M. And of course, you had all sorts of the standard 1980s fare. You had costumes by Ben Cooper. You had lunch boxes. You had Viewmaster.
You mean like a
bucket
Halloween
stickers.
costumes?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the like plastic sheets with the rubber band on the
smock.
big old
The smock.
yeah.
Because as we all know, superheroes wear pictures of themselves in a plastic smock.
They're disposable tablecloths for birthday parties. Someone put a hole in the middle. So put your head in
Put
there.
a neck hole in it.
You're a cowboy now.
You're a cowboy now.
There's
Congratulations.
one thing about Mask I will give it credit for. It's got a really good theme song.
I was just going to say, it had probably one of the most banging theme songs.
It's a decent song.
Crusaders working overtime, fighting crime, secret raiders who will neutralize soon as they arrive. The Tracker's gonna lead the mission, and Spectrum's got such supervision. Mask is the mighty power that can save the day. Mask, no one knows what lies behind the map charades. Mask, always riding on Venom's trail. Come see the laser rays. Find a
That comes courtesy of Haim Saban and Shooky Levy.
Oh
which
yeah, I
we will-
love me some Shooky.
love that Shooky.
Saban did a lot of like classic intros to cartoons.
He did him and Shooky Levy, they were a team who did a lot of the theme songs we will talk about or hear or that Dustin pipes in. They did them. And then, of course, Haim Saban went on to do Saban Entertainment and was pretty heavily partnered with Fox Kids
Power
for
Rangers.
years. Power Rangers.
Power Rangers is still on TV, by the way.
Yes, it is.
I heard that the
Yes,
original
it is.
Blue Ranger has joined the cast of the upcoming season of.
No kidding.
It's like it's called like Power Rangers Solar
Billy's
Babies or
back.
something.
Billy's back, baby. Did he ever leave?
No,
Not
he
hearts?
did. He
Oh, no,
did.
he left very angrily.
Yeah,
I
a
might
couple
add.
of them have left the
We'll-
Mortal
we'll-
Coil.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Jason David Frank.
Yeah.
Or no, that's his name.
There's
right?
like two of them.
And I don't remember.
I can't remember her name. She played
Trini?
Trini. She was in a
Thoy?
car accident.
She died in her 20s, like her
Yeah, she was young.
mid-20s.
Yeah, it was
Rip.
So for the most part, I mean, that is what Mask was in the 80s. It did have a short-run DC Comics series, about 9 issues. It did have some extra legs overseas in England with a Mask-centric magazine. like
Now, was the
Fancy.
acronym the same over there?
Yes, but they said mobile.
Okay.
Mobile assault.
So why did you pick this to be a part of the program?
Well, I didn't want to start our
There's
first...
3 reasons.
There's 3 reasons.
1, it's available on YouTube.
It's got to piss off Jason.
2, there's an acronym.
And there's an acronym. Well, part of why I chose it, I loved Mask when I
Okay.
was a kid. I absolutely loved it. In these first couple episodes, I didn't want to come out of the gate with like the heavies. I didn't want to start with He-Man or Transformers or G.I. Joe.
I say I've never heard of any of those.
You haven't? Okay.
But
so when I met you in the second grade, were you just coming out of a childhood coma?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That tracks.
Best sleep of my life.
That tracks because you had like a Dustin level beard.
And
you looked like De Niro in Awakening.
And I had a lot of back sores, open bed sores.
Oh yeah, nobody turned you.
Did those heal yet?
No.
No, they're still open.
I go through a metric ton of gauze each month.
A lot of salve.
Gotta pack them.
You gotta pack them tight.
So these are all properties that you like love. Like I'm curious how you choose episodes going forward. You said this one you didn't want to do one of the huge properties, but
starting out I don't want to do the huge properties.
But is it just are these properties that you love, or how are you choosing these?
Well, some of them are ones I love. I'm gonna want input from you guys. I know Dustin came up with a list today. And
I told you one I want. I told you a month.
You want a whole month of Bill Bellamy. I'll give you a week.
Like you've never seen him before. Provocative. Crazy.
If I know my black people, we ain't taking no vaccine because we got our own vaccine. It's called Vicks.
Live from the Tribeca Film Festival.
Oh, man. Why would you want to be the president at 80-some years old? Do you remember how young Barack Obama looked when he went into office? Look, he's young, looking like Denzel Washington. How you doing, everybody? I love you. I love you. I love you all. I love you all. 8 years later, he was Morgan Freeman. You see Sasha Believe? The best part of every relationship to me is the beginning. Every lady is a porn star in the beginning. Will and Jada had an entanglement. Rumor was that Jada was having an affair with this young R&B dude named August Alsina. He started telling everybody. He went on the Breakfast Club, went on Sway. It was nuts and spread like wildfire. I could tell he ain't seen my movie How to Be a Player at all. Jada should have picked me. We still be together.
There's some things in life you gotta put your foot down and not compromise on.
His catalog is so vast.
Yeah.
You got like MTV Bill Bellamy. You got like stand-up Bill Bellamy.
Right.
You got movie star Bill Bellamy.
Yeah.
And then you got now Bill Bellamy.
Right.
What is Bill?
Exactly. That's what we're going to find out.
Find out on that episode.
Week 4 of Bellamy
Thank
month.
you. Thank you.
Bellamy.
And thank you for agreeing to do that, Derek.
Sure, babe. You got it.
Bill Bellamy.
Bill Bellamy? You got it.
So these are ones that you like.
They're ones I like.
Are you going to choose one that you don't like eventually?
Oh, God, yeah. We're going to talk about
What's an example of that?
Snorks.
Beverly Hills Teens. No, I love Snorks.
Oh.
I loved Snorks.
What was it? Beverly Hills what?
Beverly Hills Teens. It was a short-lived animated series. I think it was on CBS, if I remember correctly.
Do you know what that is, Powder Keg?
No clue.
Nope.
It's going to make me blow my top.
Why do you know about it? Don't make the pacifist Powder Keg blow his top.
Whoa, hey, buddy.
You wouldn't like me angry.
Even though I've never been angry, I don't know exactly what it'd be like, but I have a feeling you would not like it.
From what I've read,
like being angry.
From what I've read, not good.
It's unpleasant.
It's unpleasant. I'm going to get uncomfortable and possibly sweat. You're not going to like it.
How do you know about Beverly Hills Teens?
I stumbled across it. I remember it being on when I was
you
a
say
kid.
that, you mean recently, though. You
No.
stumbled across
Is it a live action like Sweet Valley High?
No, it was a cartoon.
Oh, because
It was a
that had the
cartoon.
Daniel twins. I remember that.
I do remember
What
that.
Daniel twins?
Brittany Daniel. She showed up later in like Club Dread and
Brittany
some
Daniel
stuff.
has a twin?
Yeah.
She comes in stereo. Especially if you fuck them both.
Like that gremlin in the bathroom.
Wait, what?
I'm finished!
I didn't know she had a twin. She was an early aughts babe for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have watched Sweet Valley High.
Shouldn't have slept on that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Could there be two different girls who look the same at Sweet Valley, Sweet Valley High? Sweet Valley, Sweet Valley, Sweet Valley High. Sweet Valley, Sweet Valley.
about that.
She has real broad shoulders, too. She could be a linebacker, I think.
There's something to be said about a strong woman.
Jason thinks every woman has broad shoulders.
I do.
Do you now?
I used to think they had bitch shoulders, but...
But you're
But then
reforming
someone
your,
pulled up in front of my house with a van full of whores.
but you're reforming your misogynistic ways.
Sure.
Because apparently friends' exes think you're a misogynist.
Yeah, I did. I was called a misogynist recently.
Yeah, well, sometimes people are idiots. Anyways,
I thought it was like when you lay someone on their stomach and you rub their back. That's not what that is.
The misogyny massage.
That's not what that means.
I said I give great misogynists. And
no.
like, well, maybe you need to look up what that is.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
Stay tuned. Next week we'll be talking about Ghostbusters, right?
No, we won't.
Oh,
no, we won't. No, we will talk about things I absolutely hate. I'm sure.
Oh, here's something
which I'm
else.
looking forward to it.
Here's something else. How often does this show come out?
It will be a weekly program.
Every week.
That's the plan.
Okay.
Now, how much of this show did either of you watch? I know you watched Dinosaur Boy. What did you think of that?
I watched an episode.
I've seen Dinosaur
not
Boy.
great.
Nope.
Didn't make me watch the next one.
Nope. That's a hard one to start with.
I watched. It's Secret Galaxy, right? I keep thinking
Yes.
it's Toy Galaxy.
Well, it was Toy Galaxy.
So that is a thing.
He ended up rebranding his channel as Secret Galaxy.
Why?
Well, because he moved away from talking about exclusively toys. He started
Okay.
talking more about...
And he couldn't call it Yesteryears.
Because that was taken.
Because that wasn't a show.
Yesteryears was already taken.
I'm going to break your legs.
Okay, I watched the video on that, and I do have remembrances of Mask, but I very purposely did not watch any of the show.
That's fine. It's fine. I didn't expect you to immerse yourself in the
any cartoon we cover, I'll watch at least one episode, but I'm going to select it kind of at random usually because I feel as a child you shouldn't have to know the whole overarching plot lines to enjoy a
Jump in
cartoon.
anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's made for kids. Kids aren't going to be like, what's going on? I don't understand their motivation.
Right.
That was one thing I had, I guess, kind of a hard time with G.I. Joe. We'll end up, when we get to G.I. Joe, we'll talk about that. But it was
arcs,
a little
huh?
more serialized and had like arcs, like about 3 to 5 episode story arcs.
Okay.
I enjoyed it, but it was like if you missed an episode in the middle of the week, you didn't know what was going on.
Right.
Whereas you watch something like Mask or Brave Star or He-Man or Dino Saucers, like you just watch an episode, it's standalone.
Dino
it's fine.
Saucers, of course, is a made-up thing that it's like Beverly Hills Teens.
No,
right?
both exist, and we'll talk about
Dino Saucers.
Dino Saucers.
I'm afraid to Google
Come on.
Beverly
Oh,
Hills
man.
Teens because
That was great.
I'm not sure what's going to come out.
Can't we just
Just be careful.
Can't the show just change into something I'd normally watch, like hardcore pornography? Why does it have to be Dino Saucers?
We can have a porno month.
I just put in Beverly Hills Teens porn. A lot of search results.
Weird.
So,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Your child's cartoon was ahead of the curve, Derek.
Oh, you know what? This does look vaguely familiar.
Beverly Hills Teens does? You're
Yeah.
looking up the style of anime.
Let me see.
Like the art looks familiar.
Yep, that's it,
but
Buster.
not, yeah.
There's a dude with a guitar. Yeah, I think I may have accidentally seen one episode of that.
You'll stumble across it.
Yeah.
One of the things...
It's no Mask.
It's no Mask, that's for sure. One of the things, aside from season 2 being what it was, that as you get older, you kind of see like, it's kind of a problem. But you understand that it's a product of its time, and they were trying, was their shot at inclusiveness. I think this is something that the 80s messed up.
So
here
you're
and
saying
there.
like they're trying to be inclusive, but maybe in retrospect we would think it's offensive today?
Yeah. Like
Because
they were
leaning
trying.
they were
kinda
leaning
like-
into cliches and stereotypes.
Yeah, like think of Super Friends. You had Apache Chief and Samurai and Black Vulcan. Like, okay, that's great that you have multicultural friends. But
The one guy got big.
yeah,
Oh.
and he was dressed like an Indian all the time.
I think that if I was
Mask had a couple of those characters.
part of the Mohawk tribe back in
Yeah.
the day, I would be like, oh, that's cool. That's cool that there is like a Native American in that cartoon.
We'll talk about it more next week.
I'll say, of course, I don't know personally, but you would think that if you were of that ethnicity,
representation matters.
Yeah, you would think, that's cool.
Well, and you think about at that time, in the 80s, there hadn't been a whole lot of representation. It was just starting to happen in the later portion of the 70s. So yeah, at the time, it was nice to kind of see yourself up there. You had female characters, protagonists and antagonists.
But you got white men writing it. Is I think what
you
issue.
had women. You did have some really awesome female writers on some programs. I don't think Mask was one of them. It was primarily a male staff. But a character that comes to mind is Bruce Magic Satow. He was the Asian character who always spoke
Asian Magic.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, he always spoke
Mysteries of the Orient.
Well, he would kind of speak in like Confucian riddles.
Okay. At least he wasn't Long Duck Dong.
Yeah, it wasn't that territory of bad, but automobile. You go back.
That was Short Round from Indiana Jones, right?
No.
That's who he grew up to be, and then he directed that movie.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Everything, Everywhere. Why don't you? Somebody's been listening to Radio Rewind.
It's my only bit.
So it's one of those things where you look back at it and you're like, So that raises the question of...
That racists the question?
That racists the question. If you were to grade it by today's standards as far as how it holds up, what would your retrograde be?
Is it a scale of 1 to 7?
To A to F.
A to F.
A to F. We'll keep it simple. Schoolhouse rules.
What would I rate Mask?
Or grade it.
Grade it.
Sorry.
Grade Mask. Based on what I saw, I'm going to give that a C.
You giving it a C?
Yeah, because like I said, I didn't watch it as a kid.
But what you saw as an adult was
I was like,
terrible.
No, this checks out. And I can see why I didn't watch, why this wasn't one of my favorite. It just...
No.
It didn't,
Dinosaur Boy is a terrible episode.
Quite appeal to it. It should have, because I love dinosaurs. And I loved dinosaurs at that age.
Yeah.
So, if anything, that should have drawn me in. But no, it did not.
Jason.
I think my grade is going to mean nothing. I don't know. I'm sure the kids love the toys. I'm sure the cartoon sucks, and it's just there to sell toys.
Exactly.
I really don't know what I'm grading. Everything, all of that included. I don't know. Probably a C.
Probably a C.
I'm sure kids loved. I'm sure the toys were fun, and the kids had a great time with them. But
I liked the one I had. I guess not enough to ask for more, but I played with it because I've definitely have some toys from back in the day that I couldn't tell you what they are.
I could.
Yeah, probably. But it's like, they just didn't imprint on my memory. But like I knew this one was a Mask one, and I looked up all the toys and found the exact one I had. Yeah. And am I going to go try to find it in box? No.
That doesn't really seem to be.
That's a good question. Do you collect these?
As of yet, no. A lot of my collecting stuff's on pause right now, just because I'm focused on the house. Mm-hmm. So I've slowed down a lot of vintage hunting.
So,
if I come across something and there's a good deal, absolutely.
Years ago, I went to used to live at about like by Farmington Road.
Yeah,
and you had a house, and you were renting, and you said, "Come to the upstairs." And I went up there, and it was a small upstairs. It could be like someone's bedroom.
Yeah,
but you had converted it completely to just like displaying your action figures. You had cases, you had things in the box. So you do a lot of that, and I assume eventually in your new house there will be a room like that.
Yeah, a toy room office.
So will you be incorporating Mask action figures or any kind of?
It is a line
memorabilia?
It is a line I do want to start picking up because I do like them, and I do think it's primed for a comeback. I mean, it's had some swings and misses, which I'll get to that after my grade. I would give it probably a B-. Because the cartoon, I like it for nostalgia purposes. I like it for the PSAs, which PSAs might as well have been called CYAs, cover your ass, because that's what they were there for. It was to mitigate the direct marketing to kids. And also teach you don't pet strange dogs. That's a very important lesson.
Oh, that is.
Very important lesson.
Because they'll bite you?
They'll bite you.
I found most dogs don't bite unless you grab their genitals while they're eating, and then they will bite
They get
you.
very upset, very upset.
I mean, I'm a powder keg. I'd react the same way.
You should see him when you grab his genitals.
Well,
That's for patrons only.
That's
Yeah.
for patrons only.
the rub and tug membership.
That's a hell of a
Rubbing
tier.
the keg.
Yeah.
Rubbing the cage.
Body massage.
Who wants a body massage?
Body misogynist.
Body misogynist, exactly. I did love the toys. I think my favorite was Thunderhawk. That was the gull wing red car. You hit the button, the wings would come up.
That's the one you said it was the main guy's car.
That was Matt Tracker's main mode of transportation. And that has kind of had a revisit, which I'll speak to in a sec here. Gator was another favorite. Rhino was a favorite. Condor was a favorite. That was the green motorcycle.
Condor with a K, of course.
It was, actually, Condor was with a C. They got that one right. Viper, Miles Mayhem's
Viper
jet
with a
helicopter.
Y.
That, yeah, odd
Yiper.
choice. Sadly, they never made Shark, Gloria Baker's
Shart?
Porsche. Shark.
Oh.
Not Shart. Not what I did on the way to Ernest Day
Right.
2 years ago. They never made that vehicle. That was
If I'm Shauna and you do that in the car, I'd be like,
it's over.
This is the last weekend we'll be spending together. Just FYI.
This is why you're
an adult.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing that in our car.
Wow.
You were driving too, right?
I was driving.
You could have pulled over.
You sit on a floor mat after that?
Towel.
I messed myself.
I missed myself. The franchise has seen some revisits over the years. Matt Tracker got slipped into an anniversary line of G.I. Joe. And the cool thing about that was his back file card mentioned him as an operative for the Joes.
Was that canon up to that point, or was that new?
No, it was kind of new. And it got people really excited because
they're
even
just
on
testing the waters. It sounds like.
Yeah, and it's kind of disappointing they never did anything with that, because like they've done revisits in the comic books through like IDW. Like there was a plan for a shared Hasbro comic universe that was kind of previewed.
That was mentioned in the video, the Secret Galaxy video.
Yeah, Dan had talked about it. They did a comic book, like a one-shot called Unit E, and it was a bunch of different properties that Hasbro owns. I think
that's just Unite, isn't it? I think you're saying
it was
wrong.
No, it was called Unit E. It was a play on Unite. It was very clever.
Okay.
There were talks of like a shared cinematic universe that never came about.
You're going to cross over with Connect 4?
Exactly. You're not far off. Battleship was going to be part of it because that was a thing they did.
They made a movie out of it. Rihanna's in it.
Yeah, and Liam Neeson.
I refuse to watch it.
But that Matt Tracker being slipped in and his back file card mentioning Miles Mayhem and Venom as an offshoot of Cobra really got people excited. The most recent has been there's an independent toy company called Ramen Toys. And
ramen like
the noodle, like the delicious, like what we lived off of when we were roomies.
I'm listening now.
Yeah.
And what they'll do, Ace over at Ramen and his team, they'll skirt licensing issues and make a version of a property that maybe somebody already has a license to or nobody's doing anything with. And nobody's really touched the Mask license for years outside of 80stees.com printing shirts. And it was called the Makina, and it looks great. It's a little bit bigger. It came with a slightly more articulated quote unquote Matt Tracker. And I posted some pictures on Twitter. Dan Larson was nice enough to let me use them. It was a really great reproduction or recreation or homage to the original Thunderhawk car. And you kind of have to wonder, does it have people, at least at Hasbro, wondering, well, what could we do with this license? I don't know why they're just letting it sit there, because it's something you could easily fold into the G.I. Joe line. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Well, you have to do something with licensing, right? I always hear... I used to do a show about pilots, and one of the episodes that we did was The Wheel of Time, which I think has come back in the past few years on some, like, Amazon Prime or something. It's like a series from books, and someone held the rights to it, and they had to make something with that, or they would
kind of like
lose
the Roger
rights.
Corman Fantastic Four movie.
Exactly.
They just farted out.
Or like Sony with Spider-Man, every X amount of years there needs to be something that comes out as Spider-Man, or else
So you
they can
keep
lose
the
the
rights.
license.
Yeah.
And so this company made this horrible Wheels of Time pilot that was like 10 minutes starring Billy Zane, and it was awful. Is someone doing anything with the mask licensing so they can hold on to it?
I mean, Hasbro has it because Hasbro bought Kenner. Kenner ended up getting bought by Tonka, and then Hasbro bought it all. So as far as new product being made, as far as toys or a relaunch or a reboot or folding it into the Joes, they haven't done anything. The only licensing they really have had is other people licensing stuff like ADCs.com, or if somebody's doing small reproduction stuff, there's no figures being made, which to me and a lot of other people in the community seems like money left on the table. Right now, one of the their most popular lines right now is the G.I. Joe Classified line. It's about a 6 to 7 inch highly articulated line, very similar to Marvel Legends.
Okay.
And very sought after. They have very successful HasLabs, which is a crowdfund, kind of like what My Eternia was through Mattel Creations. And you've had a lot of fans speaking out, like saying, like, why aren't you doing mask figures? Why aren't you doing this? And with Ramen Toys releasing that Makina car, a lot of people are hoping that they look at this and the success of it and say, okay, well, let's do something with it. Because it really seems like you're leaving a lot of money on the table, not doing anything with it.
Potentially, right? But like, Punky Brewster was canceled. You know, the reboot of that. So it's
you gotta
just because you're gonna reboot an old franchise doesn't mean it's going to work
or find a new audience.
Yeah, you gotta be, and
it's got to appeal more than to just the 40-year-olds that grew up watching it.
That are saying they're going to buy it when it comes out, but then end up just playing Call of Duty again.
Right. Like you've got to get more interest beyond that small niche.
I say any of these properties that you want to reboot, just give it to Kevin Smith, guys. Come on.
Wait, why don't you? Hey, give it to Kevin Smith. Why don't you?
It's the only bit I have.
It's the only bit you
Please
got.
don't take it from me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's my only. It's the only thing I'm good for.
That was my homage to you.
I'm an old chunk of coal. That's all I got.
An old chunk of coal. Don't worry. We're going to give you enough pressure. You become a diamond. I think it is something you could reboot because the classified line, for example, that you don't really have a lot of kids buying.
Reboot as a cartoon or a live action.
I think if you rebooted it as a live action, you could have a cinematic universe between, at minimum, Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Mask. I think that could very easily be done.
Those movies all sucked, though.
The G.I. Joe ones were very bad. The Transformer ones...
The first two Transformers are right, and I liked Bumblebee.
They got crappy until... Bumblebee was kind of like, their soft reboot.
Yeah.
And then Rise of the Beast is like spun out of that.
Wait,
so
that's the newest
Satanic Panic.
I agree.
Rise of the Beast. Ride the snake.
Ride the snake. Dr. Cody.
I did. The only Transformers one I saw was the one with Mark Wahlberg. He's my favorite one.
Oh, hey Transformer. I think we're dealing with Transformers here.
Oh yeah, I forgot he said that line in there.
He did say that, but that's pretty much where Mask rests. It's just kind of sitting in limbo. Nobody's really doing anything with it, and it's a shame. I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot that can be mined from it. Hopefully, somebody picks up a comic book series and does something with it, or even if you did, I think because what you said, well, people got to be buying it, what have you. I think if you tested the waters, because this is very much the crowd funds are a pass-fail. They either get funded or they don't. You throw out the idea of a HasLab being done for a Thunderhawk.
What's a HasLab? That's one of those...
That's Hasbro's crowdfunding. So that Eternia that Shauna got me, that was through Mattel
Do you have
Creations. Not yet. I should be
Hasn't
getting
come
it.
out yet.
Releases in 2024.
When did you... Has it been like a year and a half?
Almost.
Man. And I think at the time, Dustin and I were Powder Keg, excuse me.
Powder Keg.
We were guessing at the time.
Show some respect.
That the playset cost upwards of $10,000.
Yeah.
You had mentioned that, but
we had to crowdfund the crowdfund.
Yeah. Higher? You're saying that's not correct? It's higher?
Much lower. Much lower. It was $700.
Good Lord, that's a lot of money.
Still seems high to me.
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's
a lot.
It's a lot of money. So no, HasLabs
especially since Henry's going to be 21 by the time
it gets here.
Is that something you'll open and play with, or is that stay on the shelf?
I'll end up setting it up.
Okay.
He
didn't get two of those.
I did not get to it.
So when you get an action figure, like a new one, will you buy like 3 of them?
No.
How many will you buy?
At most 2.
Okay, you scoffed at 3 like that was an outrageous
Well, no.
number. But
Hold
then
on.
you do just one
At
less.
most 2, depending on the line, because sometimes I'll get Henry one.
Okay, but
for myself, I buy 1. I'm not the 1 out of the package, 1 in box, 1 just in case. I don't like Kyle Mooney in that SNL.
If you can
sketch.
afford it, that's a great strategy.
Yeah, if you could do that, great. That's just not me.
But when you buy one and it's just for you, is it stay in the package and it goes in a display case?
It depends.
Okay.
It depends. Sometimes if I get like something like a specialty one,
Yeah, I don't blame you.
or a variant, I'll keep it in the box. If it's something, most of my stuff, I want it posed. I want it out. I want them displayed together.
You want them to gather dust, so it's difficult to clean later.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I want to have a futile battle. But no, I think what you do is you test the waters and you have a HasLab. You have a crowdfund where it's in scale with the G.I. Joe classified vehicles and figures, and it's Matt Tracker and a Thunderhawk. It either gets funded or it doesn't.
I think you cross it over with Punky Brewster and you might have
You got yourself a 1-2 punch.
Get a Mecha Brandon.
Mecha Brandon. Oh, Tracker. You got a car named Thunderhawk. But no, that pretty much closes the book on Mask. Forever on Mask. I'm sure we'll make different references.
God, why choose such a big one for the first episode? I'll never know. It's no Beverly Hills Chihuahua, I give you that.
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh, teens. I mean,
We're doing
sorry.
Dishing Disney now?
Did you do that on that show?
Surprise.
No, it's on the list,
It's a
though.
Disney Dish and Disney.
They do 3 of those?
Yeah, we would just cover the first one.
The third one is just Andy Dick
There's
doing all
3?
the voices, right?
There's more than there
3
should be.
Beverly Hills Chihuahuas. I thought we said all we needed to say in the first one.
No.
Nope, here comes the
George Lopez
Here comes the
is an
squeakquel.
executive producer on the third one.
Good Lord. Now we do have a little business. We actually got our very first patron today.
Oh, well, how about that?
We very much did.
Who was it? Do you know?
It was Mike.
Was Patron Mike?
Patron Mike. But I'm thinking,
Wouldn't you love to be as loaded as Patron Mike?
I would love it.
That'd be nice.
I would love it.
He's
I'd
got
like to be as
threes of dollars. To
I would
throw
love
around.
to be as musically talented as Patron Mike.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. Now, this begs the question, because he has kind of rebranded himself a little in Twitter, and he's doing some retro stuff. I'm feeling all sorts of Transformers, Hot Rod, Rodimus Prime. Do we rechristen him Retro Mike, or do we just stay the course and keep him Patron Mike? Do we keep it retro and call him Patron Mike?
I don't.
Or do we
I
just
don't
call
have a
him
good
Michael,
answer for
his
that.
Christian name?
He's still a patron.
He is
He's
still our
a
patron.
yeah.
Patron Mark.
Let's
Wow.
change his name to Patron Mark.
Change his name to Patron Mark. Forever in our hearts, Patron Mike. So our very first patron.
Remember when he ate that cotton candy?
He looked so happy
He
with
didn't
that.
eat it at all. He didn't like it. He didn't want it.
Oh, no. He looked happy, but it sounded like he did not enjoy
It's
it.
his Facebook profile picture.
Oh, okay. He was using it on Twitter for like a day.
Yeah.
That was good.
Just this giant afro of green cotton candy.
He loves Jesus and he loves free cotton candy.
free cotton candy.
God bless him.
So a very special thank you to Mike, Patron Mike, being
Thanks,
our
Mike.
very first patron.
Thank you, Mike. I will spend my $1 wisely.
You can, of course, find us on patreon.com. There are 3 tiers. There is the You've Got the Touch, Body Massage, Who Wants a Body Massage, and I Have the Power. Those are our 3 tiers.
Can you explain what any of that means?
Yes, I can. What those sayings are?
And don't say dino saucers when you're doing it.
I won't say dino saucers.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Even
dino saucers. Where those names came from?
You Got the Touch.
You Got the Touch. That is a song
It's a
by
Transformers song.
It's a Transformers song from Transformers the movie by Stan Bush, poorly covered by Mark Wahlberg in Boogie Nights.
Really?
Yeah. The scene where him and John C. Reilly are gonna make an album, but they're coked out of their minds.
So when did that? Because that Boogie Nights took place in the 70s.
It starts in the 70s, but it starts going into the 80s.
Okay. All right.
And then I think it ends in the late 80s, doesn't it?
Sounds right.
That was a song
Sounds
that
about
was
right.
written for
I never
the
got past the
Transformers
Heather
movie?
Graham.
Yeah, Stan
scenes.
Bush.
Why would you? That's where it begins and ends for this guy. Hey.
Hey. Level 2, it's named after the Fensler film G.I. Joe PSAs. Specifically the one with Roadblock. Who wants a body massage?
Okay.
And of course the last one named after He-Man. I Have the Power. Tier 1, raw audio.
And that's where you get a personal visit from Derek.
You get a personal visit. I come and sit right on your
You get
lap.
to watch an episode of Mask with
together.
him.
You give them a body massage while you listen to an episode of this show.
Yeah.
It's a good deal.
It's a very good.
I'm going to look into that tier.
I give them a body massage on those.
I'm going to look into that tier. I bet I can afford it.
Probably.
All right, let's go ahead and grade Mask.
We already did.
Oh, we did? Oh, sorry.
We already did. Already did. I love how supportive you're being. It's really.
I gave him a
I am
C.
being supportive.
It's totally.
I set up my house for recording. I watched the videos. I'm here.
You showed up.
There's like hundreds of places I could be right now.
There are.
I'm choosing to be
You
here.
chose to be at your house.
I'm being very supportive.
Our first 45-minute episode is up to an hour 20.
Yeah, well, that's Derek for you. Fucking talking about dino saucers.
This was a bad idea.
I knew right away it was a bad idea.
Yeah.
No, thank you, Derek, for educating us on Mask. I really didn't know a lot about it. I don't think I watched the cartoon very much when I was young.
No.
So thank you for the education on Mask.
Hey, you're welcome.
So,
Yes.
does Henry like Mask?
He's watched a couple episodes. He likes it when they're, the